Hey, babe.
Hi.
Look at that, babe. You. Right there. I don't know how warm it is, but it's not like freezing, so we are taking advantage of this not terrible weather, getting some exercise. We actually woke up to snow. Yesterday.
Oh, that was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday. I have video. Look. And then that's where I cut in the part of the snow. You're not gonna lose your hat, buddy, I promise. My beloved brew stand does not fit in that spot because of that pipe. So the plan is to move it right where this bench of tools and other stuff is, and move all this stuff right where the brew stand is. It's a lot to get done. It's warm now. Stormy still has an hour or so before she's got to go to work, so I'm just going to work on clearing off most of these tools and just stuff. Let's get to it. Next up is consolidating all of these tools into this toolbox. Okay, this area is pretty much empty, so now I'm going to take out the old shelf and see about getting that new one in back there before Stormy leaves, but worst sound ever. Okay, now to empty off this guy and then try to move it into that spot. Okay, now we gotta move it. Awesome, super excited. That fits absolutely perfectly. Just in the nick of time. Stormy's about to go to work. I'm gonna sweep, close the garage. I'm done.
I don't hate them, just grandma. Or I don't hate her, just the sound she makes.
Stormy went to work. About to get on another chat with Callum with a little update about the podcast and see where we are and what our next step is. While Charlie watches. What are you watching?
Hamburgers.
Bob's Burgers! Okay. Done with work. Podcast post is uploaded, ready to go tomorrow morning, first thing. Great episode with Justin. Learned a new term called ISO invariant. Not sure if it would, really affect my day-to-day photography, but regardless, it's nice to kind of add to my toolkit of photo tricks. And now I think Charlie and I are going to...
What's it doing?
Gonna play with the trains. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. Stormy had a work meeting, so she went ahead and took Charlie because everybody loves to see Charlie. So it's probably going to be about an hour and a half, and in that time, I am brewing. This is today's featured recipe, thanks to the great recommendations from the dudes at Great Fermentations. This is Hot Truck IPA. Anyway, that's what we are brewing today, so let's go ahead and take a look at the recipe. 1. Clean and sanitize. Got it. Okay, brewing day. Fill kettle with water and heat to 160 degrees. Let's do it. I just realized that my last thermometer broke, so I have no way of telling the water temperature, and that is not an option. So let the water get to 160 degrees. Just turn off the burner. Place crushed specialty grains in muslin bag. And soak in 150 to 155 degree water for 30 minutes. Remove bag and allow remaining water in grain to drain into kettle. Do not squeeze grain. Now we got to get this thing to a roaring boil. Okay. First hop addition. Nothing says beer like the smell of hops, man. Why don't they make this smell in like a cologne? Okay, first hop addition of 3/4 of an ounce. And oh no! Oh, that always happens. Way quicker than I expect. Okay, 15 minutes is up. Now the second hop addition. So this is what is called an immersion chiller. And the point of the immersion chiller is to cool down the wort as fast as possible once it is done brewing. Now the point of cooling it down as fast as possible is to minimize the risk of infection. So I'm using a standard aquarium water pump. This is full of cold water. It is going to run cold water through the tubes through the copper piping. The cold copper piping is going to cool down the hot liquid around it, and then the excess liquid is going to come out to recycle it back in here, at which point I will then add my ice to cool it down even more. And we're done. Time to cool the wort. Okay, the starting temp is 210.5 degrees. We will see how long it takes to cool this down to just 70. "14.5 minutes. That's a success. Still pretty warm, I'm sure, at the bottom, so I'm going to take out the immersion chiller, give it a good whirlpool stir, put the lid on, and transfer it all into the primary fermentation bucket, chamber, fermenter. I'll get it to work. And now we are going to use this siphon to suck up the wort, put it into the sterilized bucket. Now that it's been transferred, I get to do a little tasty taste. Some sediment for sure, but it's just those hop flakes and whatnot. After it sits, it'll go ahead and fall to the bottom, and when the final beer comes out, it'll be nice and clear. It's very sweet. You know, it's really funny because this tastes nothing like beer. All the sugar gets turned into alcohol, so to turn it into a high ABV beer, there has to be a lot of sugar. But I can tell, with the amount of hops in here, it's going to be very bitter. It's going to be very strong. And yet, still pretty mild. Pretty, nice, smooth finish. Excited to see the final version of a hop truck. Do you see that sky? Beautiful. What is the plan for the rest of the evening?
Eat cereal.
Lots of cereal.
And
Did you fall?
and watch Room.
And watch Room. Okay. You excited for Room?
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
Wait. And to the ball. Ooh, caught it.